Hello everybody, Walters954 here. In this video, I'm going to be going over what's new for the Platform App Builder Winter 20. So, if you couldn't tell, it's actually kind of cold where I am. I'm in my Darth Vader sauna robe here. It's not really a sauna robe, but it's a robe. And yeah, we're on Winter 2020. So by the time you're watching this, it'll probably be a completely different season or temperature, but that's how it is for me. Let's get into some of the new changes. Here we go. So we have the tabs and accordion components for the homepage. I actually thought that this was already in production or was already out for a previous release, but it looks like it wasn't. So basically what this is adding tabs and the accordion to the homepage components when you're designing it in the app builder. So for instance, here are two different tabs that I have going on here, and here is the accordion setup as well. So you can put your own components in here. I don't know, key deals, rename all of this. And I want to say that I've done this already, but it may have been just for a recent client and they're already updated to Winter 20. So it may just have been something recent in my mind. But yeah, for those of you waiting for this to come out for Winter 20, this is now out there, and really cool that you can start adding those tabs and doing things in there like that. Another really big one, I put a message out there on LinkedIn as well to kind of spread the word. There is now an improved date value calculation that you can turn on to account for daylight savings time. This is huge. Before, there were huge cumbersome workarounds that you would have to do to implement and to work on to get around daylight savings, and it was super annoying and super cumbersome. So now it is super easy to just go into the setup and our company information and turn on this new improved date time calculations, which is extremely helpful for those of us that have to deal with daylight savings. And anyone that's familiar with this knows that this is a huge nuisance. So just one thing, or a couple things to note actually. This will change how your current date value formulas work. So go ahead and update those or remove all the workarounds that you've done for it. And then two, this is going to increase your formula size. So one, it might not save if you're doing this when you're updating those formulas, because the compile size has changed. But this one is really cool. Very happy to see that this was implemented, and it's going to change a couple of my implementations and things that I've done in the past. Approval process limit has been increased, so this is very nice for those of us that have hit this limit before. So just a quick note, you can have 1,000 active, 2,000 total, and then it's 300 active per object, 500 total per object. So just keep that in mind. Very cool stuff there. Then some new things around the email templates. This is just for usability, so let's go on and show you what these look like. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier to work with the email templates. We go into our email here, add a template. When we insert, we can see that now if we have like long description fields or long folders, there is now wrap text for this. So you can read the whole description, and then the system is going to remember like your most recent folder that you've gone to, or your most recent, well, it's on here, but putting a lot of the ones that you use at the top, especially with your folders and things like that. So just making the usability a little bit better with the email templates and getting to what you need and your reps need faster. Even more custom objects are available. They've raised the limit again for your custom objects in your org. I've got to say, if you're at if you were at the 2,500 limit before and now you're excited about this 3,000 limit, that's good on you for keeping everything together. If I'm in an org with more than 100 objects, I'm freaking out. I'm like, you need to scale down and cut that down. But to each their own. If it's working for you, then great. and if it's a lot of installed packages or whatever, your limit has now increased. So you are at 1,000 custom objects for managed packages, and you can create 2,000 custom objects. So that is a lot of custom objects and relationships to manage. I hope you have a huge team to basically manage all of that and help whoever is the architect behind that. Good on you. Now we have some new really cool things around start flows and scheduled flows, and like scheduling these flows and having the flow timers around it. So one of the main things is now you can schedule your flows to start. If it's like an auto launching flow, you can schedule it to start at a specific time, and you can do it based on records that match. You can see it here, records that match the certain criteria, and you're using that criteria. You can use that criteria in your flow. So let's take a look at that. It kind of didn't make sense for me to just explain it like that, but let me go through like something real quick here. So we're going to go into this auto launching flow, and to get into this new menu, just double click on start, and then now we can see that we can schedule it, set the start date. This is basically working like a batch process, and you can do once a week daily, and once daily and weekly, and then this will just run. If it picks up any records, then that's great when you do like a get on here. But even better, you can do a specific search. So let's say we wanted this to run on active accounts. Let's put this to true. And ones that, I don't know, there's probably not a status here, but industry equals education. We wanna blast these guys out, or I would probably say false here, but whatever. Just so you get an idea, anytime the system picks up records that meet this criteria, it will run through this process. You also have to update this to use the new, it's probably not going to show up here, but there's a new global variable that you can use to reference those records that came in. So this is really powerful, basically turning the flows and the schedule into a batch process that you can run through. So a couple things here. All of this is started on the in the flow builder here. You can see what the start time is, where it's coming from, and then when you're checking for and looking to debug a lot of this stuff, you're either checking in the scheduled jobs, where that's at. So you can see it down here. Whenever you need to monitor those scheduled jobs that are coming out, you can check for it there. And then there's also debug logs if you need to like check if you're exceeding the limits of this. So really cool stuff around flows. They're making flows super powerful, and this is great stuff. More declarative work. Be careful with it, but overall, it's really great stuff that they're putting out. Next up, we have sending notifications with the flow builder. So this is something that was available in Process Builder, and I'll flip to it really quickly. But it's just a nice notification that you can do, basically ringing this bell, or if you're on mobile, it would be a push notification. And what this does is it just sends a notification based on any action. So say that this record update went out, we can now call an action, do a notification action. If I can find it, there's notification. There you go. Do a notification action. We're going to fill out all of this stuff here, and we'll be able to send a notification out to our users, just like ringing the bell, like a chatter notification or anything like that. There is a bit of setup involved with it. With Process Builder, I think it's a little bit easier because all we're doing is selecting our notification type and recipients and all of this stuff. With Flow, it's a little bit more complicated. If you guys want to, let me know down in the comments below if you want me to make a video going over this and explaining like all the things that you have to put in to make this work. But basically you have to do a get to search for this custom notification type ID and fill out the rest of this. But really cool stuff, really great to see the processes aligning, and I do like it in Flow that it gives you a little bit more power to do things, and it's a little bit more complicated, but at the end of the day, there are certain purposes for each one. So Flow's a little bit more complicated because it can do more things, and yeah, really excited to have that one on there. And then if you haven't noticed, you can now activate your flows without going out. Oh, so annoying. Going out back to the regular flow screen page, clicking on the flow you want, looking through all of them, and hitting activate. You can now do that on here. Probably save as. Yeah, so I'll save this. And as soon as I finish saving, you can activate this right from here. So there's no more going back and going through the flow list to look for everything. So yeah, this is everything you need, at least just for the quick overview of the certification maintenance for Winter 20. So go ahead and tackle that quiz that's down here. If this video was helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content like this. If you have an idea for either improvements or other videos, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm Walters954, and thank you so much for watching.